the guy that led me in to meet them knew I was, I think, and I was like, what the fuck do I say? What do I say? Like, Your Highness? He's like, no.
Yeah.
Say Your Majesty, Your Majesty. You're not supposed to say Your Highness because it sort of indicates that they're better than you.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, only Connor
They
demands.
are.
Only
They
Connor
are.
demands you say that
They
to
are
him.
better than us. 'Cause they're royalty.
But
Obviously.
yeah, and then it's just really surreal. Just all of a sudden-
what did you
Did you get
say?
to talk to them or?
Yeah, what did you
What did they
say?
say?
I shook hands with King Charles, and somebody was like, "It's Chris Broad, the YouTuber," and he was like, "Oh, you're a YouTuber, are you?" I was like, "Yeah. I love Trash Taste. It's my favorite. Let's go! I love that Sea Dog V8." No, he's from Wales, is he not? No, and we had a little chat about. I said something like, he was very engaging, and like he didn't seem like, "Oh, okay, goodbye." He actually like stuck into the conversation. And we talked a bit about. I sort of said like, the royal family still carries a lot of weight in Japan, especially in the countryside where I used to live. And he was like, "Oh, that's very great to hear." And wow, like my friend Natsuki loves the royal family. Didn't dwell on Natsuki too long.
Yeah. You're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you think sure?
You should meet him.
I think he was like, "Wow, it's amazing. Why are we so popular there?" I'm like, I don't know, mate. And then you're like, slowly moved on to the next person. It was the emperor. And it's like, oh fuck, what do I?
Yeah.
And like, do I shake hands with the emperor? Am I supposed to bow? But I just shook hands with him, and I said,
The emperor.
if you shake hands with King Charles the Emperor, this is a serious question. Does that mean you're like magic? Did you get like a magic pen?
you get the aura.
You touched
how that
you
works.
touched a heavenly
When you're touching
person.
you're touching royalty indirectly. Now.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
You should have shook hands with like different hands and then just like combined them.
King Charles the Emperor together. You just fusion. Unite. like the fucking Power Rangers. But I said, when you meet someone important in Japan, you say, "Oi dikte koe desu," right?
Yeah.
Like, "Oi dikte" means like to meet you, and then koe means it's an honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sort of went, "Oi dikte." And like, I just didn't, the word didn't come out.
Well, I also imagine you were probably like, if you had probably just have to say it, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But the more you think about it, the more it suddenly becomes
Yeah.
a colossal challenge.
I think,
Yeah.
I think
Say it.
anyone in that position would fuck up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
Sure.
normal. Like, the emperor's here. Like, this is the distance between the emperor and I.
Well, in
Like,
Japan,
"Oi
he doesn't
dikte."
like do much. Yeah.
And he's like, koe desu. I'm like, yeah, koe. Yeah, koe. It's an honor. And that was just a bit surreal. I made a little chat about
Did you go full Kago?
full kegel. We switched to English a bit because he speaks English fluently, thank God.
Okay.
What is it? It's just like English okay.
It's like Kago muzukashi.
ちょっと
Eigo daijoubu desu.
He didn't say anything like Nihongo Josu.
No.
That would be
That would be amazing by the emperor.
I can't believe you didn't get any Hongo Josie by him. What the heck?
No. And so we had a little chat and said that I live in Tokyo and whatnot, and spoke to the Empress and
He's like, I
Camilla.
live in Tokyo too.
What a coincidence!
No way.
I can see your house from the road.
Yo, what's your postcode?
And then there was Camilla and somebody must have gone, "He's a YouTuber," because I turned up. She went, "I hear you're a YouTuber," and I was like, "I am indeed." And
This
then
is
we
a
sort of.
prevalent thing in your life.
Yeah. Are you YouTuber? It was like the royal equivalent. Are you YouTuber? And I was like, I am. And I was like, and she sort of just stood there awkwardly, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, no.
She didn't know. I should have gone like, do you watch YouTube? You know, who's in
Yeah.
Japan? But I was still like, I'd spoken to the king, the emperor, the empress. I was really tripped out. It was like a movie that I'm just sort of sitting. It's like watching a movie, but you're in it. And it was, and so we just sort of sat there and awkwardly, and I just went, but I'm just, it's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me, innit? And she was like, I didn't invite you. I had nothing to do with you being here.
I have a question.
Okay.
How was the food?
I was gonna ask the same thing as well.
We'll get there.
All right.
He's building up to it. He's building up to it.
All right.
Sorry, I just wanted to know.
So after.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Go on, open it up.
All right.
All right, he's opening up.
Okay,
the
now
We're
time
reliving
for
the banquet.
Time for the wine.
Carry on with the banquet.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about the banquet is you get a lot of wine.
Of course.
Oh,
You'd love it.
You were
There's
probably
like
having
yeah.
like the most expensive.
Probably British wine, right?
every. They don't want to insult their guests. Imagine just serving Japanese wine at the banquet.
It's like, here's the finest alpaca.
But like, I sort of stood there with Camilla, and I was like, "It's just thank you for having me here. It's just gonna be so great."
Yeah.
And she was just like, "Yeah." You angry John Wick? Yeah. She went full blown John Wick, and then some guy was like, "Okay, it's time for you to go now." Sort of pushed me out the room, and then like you walk down the banquet hall, and then I was one of the first people at the banquet hall, and it's a really big room, 2 very long tables, and then a banquet where the emperor and the king sat. And it was just all because Charlotte, you don't get to sit next to your partner, and us is thrilling.
You don't? Wait, why not?
No, so the idea is
Socialize.
you sit like boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, and you spread out. So the idea is you get to meet and talk to interesting people.
Ah, so like a kind of like a wedding kind of deal.
A little bit, yeah.
Old
very
fashioned.
And so Charlotte went off somewhere, and it was just me standing there awkwardly alone next to the Japanese ambassador to the UK.
Here you go, Sir Bread.
Oh, yes. Like being backing
Sir Bread.
Buckingham Palace. Oh, don't stop. Oh, fuck.
All right.
That's a lot of fucking wine.
You,
yes.
Would you like some wine?
next to the ambassador and who else?
And so, while we're standing there awkwardly, the next person in line was Keir Starmer, the guy who became Prime Minister, and he just walks in, and I like Keir Starmer, I got respect for him, but he's quite not charismatic and trotto sheepish.
Yeah.
And he sort of walks in like, you've got you've arrived early to the birthday party, and he's like, like, did you just smash your?
Sorry, I was just so angry I wasn't invited.
But I was like, I should talk to him. He's going to be the Prime Minister in 5 minutes.
Stuck running our country.
Like, Mr. Starmer, get over here and have a how you doing? Have a chat.
Put it there.
Put it there, boy. Cheers,
boys.
Cheers.
Okay.
Hey, and that smell, is it good?
Red.
Very tanny, my goodness.
Skin of the
Wouldn't
grape.
get this in the skin.
You can taste the skin of the grape. But no, it was just really weird talking to Keir Starmer. I said, like, good luck with the election. Nigel Farage is a bit of a bell end. He was like, ha ha ha, yes. Chat there. And then off we went, and I got to sit down and speak to the private secretary. She was really nice, and the food was like not that great though.
Yeah.
What
was like-
was on the meal? What was on the meal?
It was
How
like
many course meal
Any
was
camembert?
there was no camembert. No. What? I think that was the problem with the meal. In
That's the
hindsight.
common folks food.
Yeah.
What did you eat?
We ate. It was like a white fish.
Right.
And there was, but awkwardly, they divide the each section to like 10 people, and the server, who was really nice, came up to me and was like, "You're the last one on this section." And I was like, "Great!" And that meant I got like the scraps. The last, it was like the venison or whatever. It was like well, there's not much of it left. And I was like, "Oh yes, there's some lettuce there. I'll have that piece there." And like, there was nothing.
Yeah.
So at the end of every meal, every round, every course, I got like nothing. You would have hated it.
I would have hated that.
And but then I'm trying to have conversations on all sides, and every 5 seconds, more wine, sir. And you're like, yeah, sure. And the wine servers are coming from the left and the right, and you've got like 5 different glasses of wine. There's red wine, white wine, rosé,
A part of me
port.
would want to take a picture of the wine bottles just to see how much they cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really nice wine. I will
you,
say
you
that.
obviously weren't allowed to like film or like take photos or anything
No.
like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been pretty trippy to be like, "Oh, can I just vlog this, Your Highness?"
I think I would. I
Vlog
would
it.
try
Yo,
my-
taking
So
a-
we're in Buckingham Palace
You know
right
what?
now.
I think
taking
I
a
would-
selfie
I would
with
do-
the king?
Yeah,
Just think
that
about
would've
it.
been
I would have done a toilet review. I would have vlogged the toilet.
Actually,
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Sure.
No day. What are you, savages? Yabanjin this? What is this?
Why is nobody talking about this amazing house?
You won't believe what is sitting in the middle of London.
And then they gave speeches, and King Charles gave a speech
This
about
was very good.
Hayao
Yeah.
Miyazaki.
Yeah.
People laughed. The Emperor gave a speech. The Emperor, because he studied in Oxford. He loves the UK, and he studied like rivers. He's got a
Just rivers?
it's like
Just specifically rivers?
it's like river studies. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rivers
We
and
have a lot of those.
and so he talked at great length about the Thames Barrier. And I remember looking around. People looked a bit restless. But we learned a lot about the Thames Barrier that night.
Yeah.
And at the end of the meal, you go through and you have like lots more cocktails and drinks.
Yeah.
And
Did every server have a...
What time did it start? What time did it end?
it started quite late. It started at 8.
Oh,
And
wow.
the banquet kicked off at like 9, I think.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Didn't know
Yeah.
he could stay up that long.
yeah.
That's right.
That's way past his
Past my
bedtime.
bedtime.
Yeah.
Surprised Charles can.
Yeah, that's right. I thought he'd be in bed by now.
Yeah.
You open the banquet doors.
What time did you finish then?
11:30.
Oh, it's not that long at all then.
Yeah.
He's in out. He's like,
Yeah.
get out.
You know,
Get out my house now.
All right.
I had one MP, a guy called Greg Clark, really nice MP for Tunbridge Wells in Kent,
Yeah.
near us. He was like Minister for Business and Trade, and it turned out he was like a massive Abroad Japan fan and viewer.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
It was really nice. It was just really surreal having like this,
Someone know you.
this
Yeah.
like somebody in the establishment or somebody high up in the political kind of section.
Real
know who I
power,
am.
boy. Real power.
Well, he was in the cabinet for like 10 years running the country,
Wow.
and he was like, oh my god, Abroad Japan's here, and like it was like really surreal. I was like, oh wow, that's cool. And he comes to Japan a lot,
Right.
and so he knows the country well. And he watched the cyclothon. He was like, oh,
That's so weird.
I watched the cyclothon. It was amazing.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's
Hell
freaking-
yeah.
That's
Wow.
very weird.
Yeah, and that was kind of cool. And then while I was talking to him, former Prime Minister David Cameron was sneaking out of the event. I think he wanted to go home, and Greg Clark was like, David, you must speak to
Oh, no. No.
You must speak to Abroad Japan. David Cameron was like, oh, right. You must speak to Chris Brett.
He's like, I'm a big fan of your work for dividing the country. Take us out here.
I'm not a David Cameron fan, but he was very good at
Charming.
speaking.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
very
It was
charming.
kind of annoying. He was way more charismatic than Keir Starmer. And I was
Like,
we
damn
could-
it, I wanted to hate you, but you're actually
Yeah,
pretty charming.
I'm very angry at what he did.
Yeah.
Brexit and all sorts. But he
Brexit,
was very charming to talk to, and he watched a really cool British-Japanese show called Giddy Haji, which I really like, and he'd liked that, and we talked about that. Talked about Shinzo Abe. I think he was surprised that Shinzo Abe, was killed.
That happened. Yeah.
And he was like, and I gave a speech in Japan, and nobody
wow.
really cared. And I was like, yeah, because of the political scandal. And
Yeah.
the religious.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm standing in this room explaining to David Cameron why.
A lot of people
They'd
were
like
a lot
to
more
speak.
sympathetic to the person who killed him than
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shinzo.
it got very weird very quickly, didn't it, when that happened 2-3 years ago? And sort of standing there talking to him about that.
Damn.
Yeah.
And he was like,
That
from
must
one
be
prime
surreal.
minister to another. It's a bit worrying. I was like, yeah,
Jeez.
I bet it is, yeah. And that was my last big conversation of the evening.
Damn. Wow.
What a
That's
cool
a pretty big
experience.
conversation.
Bump shoulders to everyone.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It really fucked with my head a bit, you
Could
know.
ask Charles, when can we have Wales back?
Next time I'm there.
Can you ask him, when can we
You
have
can
it back?
ask him when you're invited.
Yeah, I can ask him, when can we
Yo,
have it
did you get his WhatsApp?
back? You didn't join his Telegram group?
Yeah.
Listen, I've got thoughts.
It's like, Charles, you didn't see my Instagram DM.
I'm beginning to be a little concerned with these 5G towers. I must say.
But it is really weird, and like it's sort of it's one of those things. Like there's moments in my career where he's still having the 5G joke.
I'm just thinking of something, a joke that I most certainly can't make. and
Oh
you can't
god,
make anymore.
no jokes.
Yeah.
Um,
So how did the night end?
I didn't say I've met your brother, Prince.
You can't say that.
I met.
Actually, I'm good friends with. I met him at a Pizza Express.
I met Prince Andrew, didn't I? Like 10, 12 years
Yeah.
previously. I don't want to.
It's a really hot day. He wasn't sweating.
Yeah, I think we should get him into the Japanese summer and see if that double bust.
Oh fucking hell! Oh god.
So how did the night end? Did you have to call an Uber back from Buckingham Palace? Yeah, how'd you get out?
Well, you go out, and all the important people have already left in their Range Rovers.
Yeah.
You know, Rishi Sunak, his career at his end.
Should have seen how long you could hang around.
Put on another.
Why is bloody good? My train's not till 6 in the morning.
It was quite interesting seeing people disappear, and there was a moment where
Do you reckon they give you a free room there if you just ask, like,
it's not Wales, mate. No,
They've got like 500 rooms.
Surely
Come on,
yeah.
bang in one of them.
Do you think? Do you reckon anyone's gotten like too pissed at Buckingham Palace?
woken up at the time. Where am I?
And just had to be escorted
I
out.
reckon they'd have helped accommodate you. Get a tissue.
It's like Buckingham
How the
Palace.
hell did you get back in? Manners like that.
But the night ended with me standing at the end of the road, being like, "Cab, please." so anticlimactic.
Kicked out of. Back to civilization now.
Back
Back to reality.
to
Do
nothing.
you think you'll get invited back, or do you reckon it's one?
Not after
and
this
Yeah.
fucking show goes out? No, probably not. No, it's done. But done it once. Somebody told me
Done it once.
grandkids, Yeah.
I mean, I guess because you flew out especially for that, right?
I did. Yeah.
Would
yeah.
you
I would never.
fly out again just for another banquet, or would it be a hard sell second time
I don't know if I'd
round?
do it again.
Depends who's there. Who would have to be there for you to like make you consider it? Prince Andrew.
So finally, a face I recognize.
Finally, someone I can get along with.
I don't think I'd do it. And, like, if I was in the UK, I'd go back. But
Yeah.
it's a lot of effort. I was only in the UK like 6 days, right? It was a strategic.
That
Damn.
14-hour flight is
journey.
killer, though.
It was really
Yeah.
not flight, really not fun. But like,
you wouldn't stop bragging about how you got first-class flights for the same as business flight.
yeah.
You wouldn't shut about it. So
Good.
you about this guy? Tell him.
Well, on this flight, I was like, I've got to go business. I've got to sleep on this plane.
Yeah, of course.
And fly British Airways, and
course.
there was the same price. It was weird. Business class for one way, I think, was like 250,000 yen, right? Which is about what, £1,700 or something. I think that's the return. And then first class, it's usually like 2 million yen.
Yeah.
And I don't know who could possibly afford that.
Yeah.
Who would do that? But on this occasion, it was like 280,000 yen. Only 30,000 yen more. And I was like,
I heard more about this flight than the fucking banquet.
so
Yeah,
good.
same here. That's that.
To be fair, that's
When-
an amazing deal.
When we went to the bar, I was trying to ask him about the Buckingham Palace visit, and he was like, "Yeah, okay, fuck that. How are you getting to England?
Yeah,
next time you fly to England, the first class experience in
I
British
looked multiple
Airways."
days. I was like, let me see this mystical flight. I could not find.
I couldn't find it either. Me and Sidney went home and tried to find this mythical flight.
It exists.
Wait,
It's
so
real.
so was that the first time in first class?
Yeah.
How was it?
Great.
Yeah.
He got the Buckingham Palace like fucking discount.
Yeah.
The improvement is not worth the normal pricing.
Oh no! Fuck no!
No.
I
Oh,
don't know
no,
who
no,
would
no.
justify that.
Normally
you
you
get
get
like
like
a
a slightly
private
bigger chair,
butler guy,
yeah.
and there's this guy every 5 minutes. You're like, more crisps, Mr. Broad. I'm like, oh yes. And
I'll take your entire stock.
you get like a little
That was
compartment.
like Ian during the cyclothon, though. That was what do you mean? You had
You get a little compartment, right, on like business class, first class, and
Yeah.
by the end of the flight, by the end of the flight, it was like a rubbish skip of just crisps and sweets and Haribo.
You're supposed to hand it back.
I'm like, more Haribo, please, Charles. And, like, it was so good. But like, again, like this is one of those things that I nearly missed out because I thought it was wrong or a glitch on the website. And Charlotte was like, what the hell's that? Why is it so cheap? I'm like, that's not right. No. And then I booked it and it was real. And it was like, and this flight exists. And I asked British Airways when I got there, how is first class affordable? Or moderately affordable anyway, by the standards of first class. They're like, you just got lucky.
Yeah.
Like, well, great, because I'm going to
So
Buckingham Palace. So I'm flying stuff.
The flight that I'm getting to America is weirdly cheap, and the premium economy is more expensive than the business class seats.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how that.
It's all about like
Yeah.
demand.
There's
and
some like weird computer.
Yeah.
design.
There is
This
this-
makes sense.
There's some weird computer thing. I remember I was trying to get a flight back from America to Japan, and I was like, okay, let's see how much the direct flight is. Direct flight, obviously, fucking expensive, right? And I was like, okay, maybe I can go. Maybe I can get like a transfer. And I figured out it was not only less expensive to get the transfer, right? So it was like 1,500 less to get a transfer, but it was a transfer to the exact same flight that was like more expensive. So basically, I would have paid less to use their airline more to take the exact same flight
It
I
is
was
weird
going to
how it
take.
works. It doesn't make sense.
So you basically took a pit stop.
Yeah, basically.
What the fuck? Airplanes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you shop around though, like,
Oh.
yeah.
Have a
So
good
that
look.
was good.
Yeah.
That was really good. And the perfect start and end to the trip. Flying.
Oh,
You know,
well,
for-
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
First
Meanwhile,
class.
when you film a video
As the
with,
royalty should.
Absolutely.
As royalty
I
should.
don't think I even told them on the plane. I should have been like, I need to get back to Buckingham Palace. And I should have said that. I should have
They
said
probably
that.
They
thought they're
would've
talking about a
poisoned
crazy man.
Yeah, I'm sure you are, mate.
Meanwhile, when you film with Chris, you get put in a tent on a desert island.
Oh, no.
In the worst fucking place I've ever been to.
I
in
will
my
say
life.
one before we get into Connor's tent debacle. I will say one final thing of Buckingham Palace though. It's crazy the response it gets, right? How I always, I've been very lucky to do things like the book or raise $1 million for the cyclothon, but nothing gets the response, anything on the same caliber as being like, I'm going to Buckingham Palace. The response I got publicly, friends, family who, just ignore me.
Yeah.
This time they're like, oh my God, that's incredible. I'm like, I've got a best-selling book. They're like, oh shit. I've raised $1 million. Fuck off. But Buckingham Palace, they're like, oh my God,
Oh, no.
how is this possible?
Did you
Wow.
did you have like old friends messaging you out the blue?
I did, yeah, I did, because it was on news. It was like all these important people. It's like, and YouTuber Chris Broad was there. And it's like, wow. So, but yeah, no, but the royal family, the emperor in Japan, still seems to carry a lot of weight to it
Yeah.
that I was surprised to experience. You know, in the posts I made or discussions I've had about it, people respond to it in a way that I've never experienced before.
Interesting.
I thought maybe the royal family, the emperor, maybe the sort of prevalence had been on the decline a bit, and people weren't that fussed. But my God, like it's dwarfed anything I've ever done in 12 years.
Well, yeah, it's still got the prestige behind it.
But
I
like,
think.
You almost feel like, but I haven't done anything. I just turned up in it and drank some wine. In
Well,
a
that's
dodgy seat.
it's like the build up to like getting the invite in the first place, right?
It's
It's
done a lot
like
of good videos and done a
Oh,
bunch of
thanks,
trouty
Colin.
work.
Oh,
yeah.
You've done a lot of good videos.
Yeah, you've done a lot
Wow,
of
rare
with me.
praise.
Yeah, yeah.
Rare praise from
Yeah.
Sea Dog
Me
VA,
and-
ladies and gentlemen. Clip that. Put it on the wall.
Oh,
But
well,
like,
you know, we did our finest work.
but it I love the wacky weekend on the tent. That was great. So that was kind of cool. But it did get, you know, what's it called?
Likes, engagement.
No, what's that
Prestige.
imposter syndrome thing?
Oh.
It's like I haven't done anything. You know, when you're
Oh.
standing with prime ministers and powerful people and head of MI6, and it's like I make videos in my bedroom about Japan, innit? It's like it kind of makes you reevaluate. And I came back and I sort of had like a midlife crisis. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, but I mean,
I'm doing
Well.
nothing. Nothing I do is like important.
a lot of
And you opened a
politicians
bar.
and professionals.
to drown my sorrows, I opened a bar.
Drown my midlife crisis with reasonably priced cocktails. Who should be?
The bars in Japan aren't open enough to drown my sorrow. I'll do it myself, damn it.
Public drinking is banned from sex.
But it's one of those weird things, and I had moments like that in the past, like documentaries I've done, like important documentaries about things, and then to go back to making silly videos in a room, reading out comments, telling me I'm an idiot or something. It's just like it's quite hard to wrap your head around sometimes.
Yeah.
I got that after the Fukushima documentary or meeting Kim Watanabe. Like, how do you just go back to sitting in a room, reading out things?
Yeah,
and-
it's
Yeah.
tough.
It's tough. It's
tough.
weird. It's weird, and it's sort of fucked with my head a bit. So that's the enduring legacy of Buckingham Palace: an early midlife crisis and alcoholism. Cheers.